Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Janie Rose, for helping me facilitate this and having the skill set to convert and then post this recording later. Mary, I'm so glad that you can be here. I feel like it's been a couple weeks. It's always nice to see your face. I think I look forward to this time on Wednesdays and to kind of just sharing what has happened in the last week or two, and also, like just happening in the business as a whole. Okay, so it is February 6th. January flew by like in the blink of an eye. January was one of my best months ever, like maybe in life and definitely in this business. I was able to help 7 people get started, and I introduced it, I invited 4 new people to join our team. And I just did it effortlessly, I feel, because I was really calm and relaxed and centered and intentional about all of the work that I did. And it felt really good to start the year in that way. I led my very first women's retreat, which is something that I have been thinking about for years. And I'm going to share with you a little bit of the details of that and how I feel like, when I step away from Beachbody and when I look, I see clearly for me, Beachbody has just been fertile soil for me to grow personally. It's been my personal growth expansion, and it's allowed me to be better in all areas of my life. So when I look at, I'm just going to throw it out right here. I just got it's over here, my W-2, so if I earned $20,000 last year in Beachbody, and maybe I probably spent about, I don't know, maybe $2,000, $1,500, $2,000 to do that. Like that ratio right there, I'm like, that's great. You know what I mean? I'm like, I got to pour into me and learn and grow and mentor and coach and keep my commitment to helping others at the forefront of my life, and still earn on top of all of that. You know what I mean? So it's like, and it's allowed me to grow by offering my first women's retreat, by offering more workplace wellness, by all of these avenues. So if I trace the dots back, I can see. So I think it's really important for us to always kind of like stay centered in like, why am I here and how does this add value to me in my life? Oh, Tara, I'm so glad you're here. So come on with your picture if you can. And I know that you ladies in front of me in particular do that. You know what I mean? I think you're pretty darn clear on why you're here and how this helps you out in your life. But I want to encourage you to just grow beyond your wildest dreams, because I feel really inspired to do that now at the beginning of the year. And so what I want to encourage you to do is, I'm going to share some of my retreat with you now, is that maybe it's a retreat for you, or maybe it's a faith-based camping weekend. Maybe it's movie night for your, like this could happen in all kinds of different ways. So be creative in what speaks to you. Mary, maybe you want to start your own bike race that raises its own money for your own cause instead of doing it for somebody else. I have no idea. I'm just like setting some examples here. Okay. So I think you should think big. So the reason why my first retreat was off the charts, a hit, out of the ballpark, like amazingness. So I could only have a maximum of 11 women there. There were 9 of us. That includes me. I really had 7 paying participants. I could have had 9 paying participants. Okay. So I didn't hit, like its full growth potential. But that's okay. I did not take a loss. I still earned some profit. So for me, that was really good. Like if I came away doing all this and, it was really important for me. It was so good to write Anna that check for $150 to come teach a class for me and have breakfast with me and tell the story. you know, so the fact that I could pay other women to drive out and facilitate and help me make this retreat amazing. I also it just felt so good to like do all of the things that I wanted to do. So I wanted to share. I worked long and hard, and Tara, you'll appreciate that. So you see this bag here? It's a bag that had a bunch of gifts in it that was made by the Little Market. Okay, the Little Market supports women who are everything from refugees to transitioning from being homeless. You know, if you guys don't know, my mom was homeless, so that kind of meant something to me. Women who are transitioning after domestic violence, and they just don't, you know, so it allows them to create things. So this is custom made, you know, and that was for the retreat, and it all just like every single thing tied in. So in here, I gave Shakeology to each and every gift. I guess some already have and use Shakeology and some do not. I'm going to stand up here. I also gave a gratitude journal. Okay. And I use this throughout the entire. So I basically was showing and teaching my best practices of what I know and like. I was able to give, and if you could smell it, Tara made these. She makes amazing handcrafted artisan soap. So this is plumeria. This is something a little bit more special to Kauai, and this is a body butter. So she was able to create custom these samples because I wanted to give a little bit of something, and I also wanted to support, you know, a newer coach and who also would like to grow and expand here on Kauai and maybe even move to Kauai one day. And even if I only got it out to 9 people, I got it out to 9 people, and that's a start. It's better than nothing. Then you guys, the last thing I gave was these mandalas. So you saw these in the pictures. Do you know what mandalas represent? They're the symbol for the universe. They symbolize the universe. And so when they're seated on their mandala, they are the center of their universe. They are. Everything that they want to make happen in their life will come from them and their courage and their strength and their tenacity and their desire, whatever it is. So as we sat out underneath the banyan tree, which is the symbol of eternity, and also in Hindu, it's a symbol of death, which to me represents death of old beliefs, old habits, things are just ready to let go of. So I sat them out there and went over my intention with them to take off on these 2 week, on this 2-day retreat. And then I took them through I am statements. I am a masterpiece. I am grateful. I am healthy. I am strong. I am confident. So we stretched and we moved as we went through all of these. And I got back. So one of my attendees gave me this. We were doing some vision boarding, so she cut this out. I put out thank you cards. This is something I learned at Leadership Kauai. So anytime anybody wanted to pull a card, just like we did at our retreat, write something down and give it to somebody, they could. So she said, you are a masterpiece. But I got a few of these thank you cards, and it was really sweet. And they giggled at that. You are a masterpiece. They laughed. And, you are well equipped. That was another one. They laughed at that. But I made them say it. And if they didn't say it loud enough, I made them say it again. And so they got the picture. And it was really fun. And so this also, you guys, giving away a gift like this, what I didn't realize, I asked them to wear white on the first day of the retreat to symbolize a new year and a new beginning and just a fresh start. So I had meaning and intention behind every single thing that I did. There was nothing that didn't go, and so they were getting it. They were understanding where I was coming from and what my intention was the whole time. These actually really united us as a group. It's like all of us putting on Team Powerhouse t-shirts. So I didn't think about that, but as I saw them wrapped around them and they put them around their waist and, we were wearing them all different ways, and we used them incessantly throughout the entire weekend, my intention was that they could leave and create this space. Their universe goes with them everywhere. They can be anywhere. They can be traveling, they can be at work, they can be at home. It doesn't matter. It's up to them to create the space. So my hope was that if they put it out on the grass somewhere, the beach somewhere, wherever they were at, that they would come back to the feeling that they had when they were at the retreat, that they would remember what, was important to them, or, what they were working on, and so on. So it felt so good to have one of these placed on every person's bed. They had no idea they were getting any kind of gifts. I didn't advertise any gifts. I didn't tell them anything. I also put individual thank you cards that were unique to them, love notes, in every single bag that was in every single room. So I brought this extra one because who knows, maybe at the very end, somebody was going to show up, but they didn't. And that was okay. I didn't really care. But what I wanted to share is that every single one of these things that I did were things that I've learned and experienced. I've been to the Diamond Retreat. I've felt the unity of putting on a hoodie or a t-shirt and all, being a part of a team or creating an atmosphere like that. I have, I brought Shakeology balls. There was a Shakeology bar. I had one woman who was 11 days post-op, a gastric sleeve. So basically not a gastric bypass, but a gastric sleeve. So she could only do liquids. And I had the caterer make some pureed soups specifically for her, and then I let her share what was going on with her when she was ready. And eventually she did. And so that was great. One woman was 6 weeks out of a hip replacement, full hip replacement. Actually, Debbie, who was a part of the team at one point, Langford. And then Jennifer Cullins, who's in our current group now, who is a type 1 diabetic, where's the, so she was there as well. It was just really, it was really great to have my intentions just meet reality. It was realized. And it just made me feel like this is just the beginning. So I've sent them, they get first right to say if they want to come back next year, they can choose. And whoever doesn't, I'll open up that space. So I might have a few more spaces, but there's only room for 11 there. And I actually want to keep it like that. So I may offer more throughout the year, but I wouldn't have it like 15 or 20 or more, because I think it would be too much, to be honest with you. So it's kind of a cool new endeavor that I am heading out on that is infused with everything, So again, in our kind of like Beachbody realm, it's my toolbox. It's my support. It's my place of growth, and then I head out into the world and I share my version of how Beachbody can be a part of your life, and why you should, why it's fantastic, for whoever. I wanted to also kind of share on a couple more things before I open it up. I have been learning from this book. You guys know. So this book has been really good. It was so good that this is the other thing too, is we have a lot of choices as to what we could teach. I could have taught from a lot of things. Okay. And sometimes that can be overwhelming in and of itself. So I had to just pare it down. What is my message? So I led with feelings. This is how I want to feel. And this is what I do every day that helps me feel that way. That's how I had a great January. I know what I want to feel, and I know what makes me feel that way. And I am inviting people to feel a different way. So if people are kind of sick of something in their life, they're ready for some change, and to feel different, you know, in their head, in their body, in their optimism for life. Like I want to help them with that. And I feel confident that I can. If they let me get to know them, I'm pretty confident I got a big fat toolbox that I can pull some things out of if they let me get to know them. Okay. So I wanted to play, this is 8 minutes long, and this is audio. This is a chapter I listened to yesterday, and it is start before you're ready. It's start before you're ready. Basically, that's the message. Because in every area of life, when we start before we're ready, that's when all the doors open. So if you had zero fear at all before having kids, cool. I think most of us decided, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to birth a child. I'm going to do my best to be a parent. Or adopt a child and do my best to be a parent. Okay? Or if you're pretty sure you fall in love with the guy and that's it, you know, you're just going to go for it. You know, so this goes in all areas of life, not just business. But I think what happens is, like, I think in any, if you have an idea that you've been wanting to do in and around this business, can you just do it? Can you just like launch and do it and like learn, you know, invite before you're ready. So me deciding to spend $2,200 on 2 nights at the hotel before I booked a single person in was me starting before I was ready, but having the confidence that I would figure out. It was $1,200 for the catering. This was a big event. I went 5-star for me because that's what I wanted. This was not a budget affair. And I'm sick of budget. I'm sick of pinching pennies. I'm pretty sick of it. So go big or go home. And that's really what I wanted to do. So maybe it's all, I'm just saying, like, so these were some, I could have been like, oh, I wanted to. No, I went big on every gift for me. Everything, you know. So the fact that I did it and I still came in like under budget and still made some of a profit was a huge success. So here's Marie talking about that. So let me play this and see if we can hear it again. 8 minutes on, you might want to take a note or two. I don't know, maybe not.
Your ready strategy means exactly what it says. Stop thinking and start doing.
Can you hear it?
Make a move, any move. Send the email, register for the class, pick up the phone, schedule the meeting, have the conversation. This is why I was such a stickler that you make your dream actionable, measurable, and specific in Chapter 6. A dream to travel more isn't nearly as easy to start as go to surf camp in Costa Rica this summer. When your dream is chunked down, your next steps become painfully obvious. The following points will help you master the art of starting before you're ready. Number 1, beware of procrastination disguised as research and planning. Starting before you're ready doesn't mean you should be ignorant or haphazard. Depending on the nature of your dream and how much you already know, some initial research and planning may be necessary. For instance, to reach your ultimate dream of speaking conversational Spanish within the next 12 months, you might look into language immersion courses, research private instruction, and download a language app. That's fine. But be warned, extensive research and planning is often a way to keep procrastinating. You can spend weeks, months, even years preparing without making any real, tangible progress. Research, especially online, can be particularly dicey. I've gotten myself sucked into multi-hour, multi-day research rabbit holes far too many times to count. Remember, you don't need to know everything about your dream, nor do you need to map out every step in advance. Stop hiding behind books and websites. Instead, develop a bias for action. Make appointments. Have real-life conversations. You'll learn more and make faster progress. Start before you're ready. Start before you're ready. Yes, start before you are ready. Now, if you must research, stay on task. The internet is a minefield of distractions that can gobble up the most precious resources you have, time and energy. Your objective should always be to get enough information to take your next active step and nothing more. Don't rely on willpower either. The lures of hot links, ads, notifications, and emails are far too great. Instead, give yourself a clear research objective. The one thing you're looking to learn, find out, confirm, act on, and set a window of time to find it. Then set a timer, get the information you need, and take action on it immediately. Number 2, get skin in the game. Find a way to put your time, money, and/or ego on the line. Create games that have real-world, painful consequences if you don't keep moving. Cognitive psychology and decision theory show that we humans have something called loss aversion. That means we much prefer avoiding losses to acquiring gains. Let's say a $20 bill accidentally falls out of your pocket and you lose it. That loss will hurt significantly more than the happiness you'd feel if you found $20 on the ground. One easy way to get skin in the game is to make a financial commitment. Early in my career, I was terrified of speaking in public. I knew it was an important skill, so I joined a local Toastmasters group. The membership fee was around $50. I was barely scraping by, so on top of genuinely wanting to improve my public speaking, I really didn't want to waste that cash. As I got more involved in the group, I became friendly with the other members. Developing those social connections gave me another layer of skin in the game. Not showing up to meetings meant I'd feel guilt, shame, and embarrassment. So I used that to further motivate myself to keep going. There are unlimited digital tools to help you put skin in the game. Search online for accountability apps plus the current year. You'll discover a treasure trove of options with a wide array of features. The basic format is this. You set your goal, for example, write 500 words a day, 5 days a week, and determine the financial fine you'll pay if you don't stay on track. If you fail to take action, you lose that money. Some apps even allow you to determine what happens to the money you lose. You can have that cash sent to your nemesis or to an anti-charity, a cause or an organization you can't stand. That's taken loss aversion to the next level. No matter what method you use, putting skin in the game helps you power past procrastination. Don't dick around here.
Okay. Here's the deal, Leo. It is really important to light a fire under your butt. If it's like, okay, I'm going to lose my home. I'm going to lose, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't going to, like lose that $2,000, or even when I committed to doing Leadership Kauai, that was like $250 once a month for me. That's a hell of a lot of money. I paid it for 10 months in a row. I never missed one session, including the one my dad died on. That Friday, I was there. When you're all in. So I think that so as we're still sort of like at the beginning of the year, this is so personal to you. Like, what are your current desires or goals? I have no idea. It could all be very diversely different. But I think that these things are key ingredients. Your why you're doing it, what this does for you and why you're doing it, and, like what you want to create from it, like outside, like what do you really want to create from it? So I kind of want to open the floor and like unmute. I wasn't going to play too much of this, but I did want to kind of, my sharing today was just based on like what I have been doing and what I'm going to continue to do. that is really working for me that I want to just share like an open book with you guys. And then if you have, ideas or thoughts that you want to, move down the road for yourself, maybe I can just shed some support or insights, on that. That's it.
Hey ladies, I just was thinking about something. I have the free Zoom, so when you record, you only get 40 minutes. So we will not have a full hour. Just
okay. Does anybody, so because we don't have that much time too, and I can meet up with any one of you individually if you want to, but like Tara, Mary, like you guys were all, I created this Team Cup thread. Thank you two for introducing yourselves. And I just want this to be like a fun way for us to connect on the regular, like sometimes a week goes by or more and we're not really connecting. So I think that's cool about doing this and a place to just, ask questions. But do any of you want to, I know Jamie, you've been working on kind of like your goals maybe for the year to come. I don't know if you want to share any of those or your week, or Tara, if you have any questions, just kind of currently with conversations you're having. I don't know, you guys, it's all open.
Well, I was going to run a copy of my goals, what I have so far, but I will tell you that 2019 was just not a real banner year, and we've got like 10 minutes left. Was not a banner year for me. And so I got out my why statements the other day and I made a copy of it. I had kind of gotten away from it. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Because I want time freedom. I want financial freedom. And then the second part of that, which is a wonderful way to go, I mean, that was just a few of it. And why is it important to me? But then the second part of it is, what will happen if I don't do this? What will happen? And the consequences, like what she was talking about, if I don't have skin in the game, I figured out what my consequences would be. I'd have to go back to work full time. I don't want to do that. I just don't want to do that. I don't want to start over in corporate America. And I don't want to be tied to someone else's time schedule for me. Now, I did take on some part-time work the end of the year, and that was great because it worked out perfect. It was small enough little increments, 2 days a week. And so that fit in perfect. I knew what I needed to do before I left. And then the last part of it is, in looking ahead 5 years and I haven't followed through on what I say I'm going to do, then I'll still be getting up at the dark. I'll still be having to commute on rainy mornings. I'll still be having to ask people for, can I have time off? I need to go schedule a doctor appointment. Or can I have time off? I want to go to the beach, or I want to go to Maui, or I just want to be home, working in my yard or whatever. And I won't have the freedom to enjoy a healthy life because I'm always running from one thing to the next, which I did for many years. And I realized it took me a while to scale that back in my brain once I came home full time, that I constantly needed to be running from one thing to the next, and that my freedoms would be minimal. So that's kind of an interesting, it's not really my goals, but if I don't follow through on my goals, that's what will happen. So my goals this year include personal goals. They include business goals. I want to be bringing in $1,500 a month. That is huge for me because I'm not there. So, and I figure that's like $300 a week that I need to be bringing in from my business. How I get there, I'm not quite sure yet, but that's the what. So
I think it's really great. Thank you for sharing that. And then also it's a Wednesday, so you can go look at your volume. And we did reconstruct that backwards so that you actually know exactly how you need to make that $1,500.
Yep.
Okay, so you know how many customers you need to help, how many new coaches you need to have, how many active, everything. So it's right there, and I would encourage you to go do that if you haven't done that already.
Yeah, well, I haven't done it today. But.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that even it's a little complicated, but when I did it one time, I was like, oh, okay, that breaks down to this much volume or this much whatever. Right. I don't think we have to do that every week.
No.
You can do it once at the beginning of the year, but you're kind of knowing how much you are on target or not on target based on knowing what you're trying to hit. So just create your target. I would encourage you to do that homework between now and then, like know how many people you need to help and how much volume you need to be having in team cycle bonuses in order to create $1,500 a month. Okay.
Right.
That's your assignment. And then we can talk about it, and then you have it there up along with these other things that you have going.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Mary or Tara, do you have any questions, or do you have anything you want to share?
I just wanted to share with you, I shared this with Janie the other night, but yesterday and 2 weeks ago, what you said at the beginning of the Zoom about how Beachbody has been a huge part of your personal development, you know, when you come to a certain place and you are able to do something that 4 or 5 years ago you could have never done, it's very eye-opening. So my story is that at my work setting, I was invited to go to a conference call, and be in the room live with our CEO. And I was picked from our department out of, I don't know how many people, but I was the one that the senior management level picked to go to be at the call. And that was 2 weeks ago. And then yesterday, I was also chosen to be a part of a networking group called Women for Women. And it was a panel discussion that they had yesterday of different women who have raised up through the ranks in our company, and also men who are looking to be more diverse in their hiring practices. And it was very, very good discussion. And I thought, I've heard Stacy say this over and over and over on our calls at different times, and I've heard it in my own personal development, is it's time for me to level up. I need to level up and reach up instead of always reaching down. Mm-hmm. And I thought, this is an awesome opportunity for me to connect with people who are like me, like-minded, who are driven and goal-oriented and, inspiring, quite honestly, inspiring. They're people that are really inspiring. And it was awesome. It was fantastic. And 5 years ago, I could have never seen myself walking around in that room and walking up to people and confidently introducing myself and saying what I do. I could have not seen myself doing that. So it was huge.
Congratulations, first of all. Congratulations, because it's like moments like that when you it's right in front of your face, like you can see your growth and you can see how this has affected all areas of your life, your marriage, your personal health, all of these things. And it does feel good to be around people who are driven and like-minded and want to just have an epic life, you know what I mean, who are not cool with mediocre. Mm-hmm. They're not wanting to hang out with the average, and so it's it really does help you to do that. So I can't wait to hear more about the different ways that you're going to do that within your organization there, and that you get to have a say on it, and they want to hear what you want to say about it, and that you're a good example, within your employee setting. It's really cool. I see we have 2 minutes and 37 seconds left.
And I was good. Just to finish that up, is the very last thought about that is most people my age who are 60 are thinking about their exit strategy, not thinking about how they're going to grow.
Yeah.
And, that's not me. I'm not going to be like that. I'm not ever going to be like that. I pray I am never like that, even to the day I die.
Yeah. Hallelujah. And I think that's the thing. It's never over. It's not the growth. Yeah. Yes. So with 2 minutes left, I'm wondering, Janie, too, if you popped up another Zoom, could we do it? It's 9:13. So I would have another 15 minutes. But Tara, I'm just beckoning to hear from you, but I think it might pop off in a second. And if it does, maybe we can put up another link if you can.
Yes, okay. I can do that.
You can just go back into this old link. We'll just close out and then we can come back. That's what we
Can
do all the
just
time.
close this out and come back in? Because Tara, I'd like to hear at least
So
something from
I
you.
think,
before we go.
well, I'm wondering too with the
It won't record though.
I know that's
That's okay. We don't have to record when we come back
by
in.
doing that and ending the okay, I can stop record, end the meeting, and then come back in.
And if the recording turns to bub up, I don't care. Like if you're not able to do it in a few minutes, fine. Don't spend 3 hours on that, please.
Oh, no, I won't.
All right. See you in a few.
Okay, I'll be right back.